Inflation is a phenomenon that occurs when the general price level of goods and services in an economy rises over a period of time. It is often expressed as a percentage increase in the Consumer Price Index, CPI, which measures the average change in prices of a basket of goods and services consumed by households. Inflation is caused by a variety of factors, but the most common one is an increase in the money supply, which leads to too much money chasing too few goods. When there is more money in the economy than there are goods and services available to purchase, the price of those goods and services rises. Other factors that can cause inflation include increases in demand for goods and services, which can outstrip supply, and increases in the cost of producing goods and services, such as higher wages or raw material costs. Inflation is often measured by the rate of increase in the CPI, which is calculated by tracking the prices of a basket of goods and services over time. When the CPI rises, it means that the cost of living has gone up, and people need to spend more money to maintain the same standard of living. Inflation can have both positive and negative effects on an economy. One of the positive effects is that it can stimulate economic growth by encouraging businesses to invest and consumers to spend, as prices are rising. It can also help reduce the burden of debt, as the value of the debt decreases over time. However, inflation can also have negative effects. When prices rise too quickly, it can lead to hyperinflation, where the cost of living spirals out of control, and people struggle to afford even basic necessities. It can also erode the purchasing power of savings and fixed income investments, such as bonds, as the real value of those investments decreases with inflation. This can lead to a decrease in consumer confidence and spending, which can ultimately harm the economy. Central banks and governments often try to manage inflation by adjusting monetary policy and fiscal policy. Monetary policy refers to the actions taken by a central bank to manage the money supply and interest rates. By increasing interest rates, a central bank can reduce the amount of money in circulation and slow inflation. Fiscal policy refers to the government's use of taxation and spending to influence the economy. For example, the government might increase taxes or reduce spending to reduce demand for goods and services, which can help slow inflation. In conclusion, inflation is a complex economic phenomenon that can have both positive and negative effects on an economy. While moderate inflation can help stimulate economic growth, too much inflation can harm the economy and erode the purchasing power of individuals and businesses. Central banks and governments play a critical role in managing inflation through monetary and fiscal policy.